I had another nasty troll today. And this is, I think, one of the first comments that they left. I always try at first to engage in good faith, at least from my direction. But after, I think it was almost a dozen messages back and forth, it was clear that they were just avoiding my questions for clarification and just repeating the same trolls over and over again, and then accusing me of doing the things that they were actually doing. But here's an important point that I want to get across to all of you to help educate you even further, because this point I haven't actually emphasized as much, because she was demanding, I'm thinking it's a she because in her handle it says Nicola is her name, but who knows. She was saying, where is your PhD? Where is your license? I cannot find them. First of all, I have them publicly displayed in my credentials highlight. I've made several reels about this. Oftentimes when people in good faith ask me, I will respond just to be transparent, but I do not need to show my licenses from the past. I am not claiming to be a therapist anymore. I'm not claiming to be in mental health whatsoever. I am a coach. You do not need to have licenses in order to be a coach. So I don't need to DM you my licenses. That's absurd. Now, I will show you my PhD because I use Dr. Taylor Burroughs as my branding, because it's the truth. I have a PhD in marriage, couples, and family counseling. And of course, I think that that is appropriate for me to prove, but I still don't have to DM you anything because I'm not claiming to be a therapist, right? Do you see the difference? Like if I'm saying, hire me as your therapist, then you can absolutely ask me for whatever kind of proof that you need. But as a coach, you do not need to have a PhD. You do not need to have a license. You do not need to have a certification. So I don't need to go out of my way to respond to all of these bad faith trolls. And I do it anyway in public in order to show you that I am exceptionally qualified for my role as coach. I just happen to be above and beyond here. So the fact that this person just couldn't figure that out and kept wanting to sling mud and didn't even want to identify themselves, right? I find it very interesting that these people who are making all these false accusations can't even say, hi, my name is XYZ. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. Because then I can actually smack them with a defamation claim. But they don't do it because they're cowards. Now, I stand up publicly and boldly to make my claims against Sadia Khan, for instance, because I'm telling the truth. Why would I do that if I wasn't telling the truth? That would be pretty stupid, wouldn't it?